This is part 2 on how to use Microsoft Active Directory and Network Policy Server to authenticate Wi-Fi users. Open up the Windows Server Manager. Click on where it says Add Roles and Features to open up the Roles and Features installation wizard. Click on Next and then select the role-based or feature-based installation. Click on Next and then choose Active Directory Domain Services, as well as the Network Policy and Access Services role. Click on Next and then click on Next once again. So you just need to click on Next on all the preceding screens, and then you also need to ensure that you select the Network Policy Server option there and then click on Install. So the installation process should take about less than 2 minutes or so, and once the installation is complete, I'm then going to show you how to then configure Active Directory. So select the warning icon and then click on the Promote this server to a domain controller link. Select the Add New Forest option and then type in a custom domain name. So in my case, I'm just going to set that to adserver.local. Click on Next. And then I'm also going to configure a static IP address for the server. So you just need to go into the Network and Sharing Center, and then you need to make an adjustment on the Ethernet interface. So click on Properties and then select Use the following IP address. So I'm just going to set the IP address to a 192.168.0.100 address, and then you just need to type in a subnet mask as well as a default gateway. So once you've made these config changes, just click on OK and then click on Close. So we've successfully configured a static IP address. So type in a password for Directory Services Restore Mode, popularly known as DSRIM, and then click on Next. Click on Next once again. You should then see a field showing you the configured NetBIOS domain name. So click on Next on the preceding fields, and then you should then see a Review Options page. So click on Next, and then click on Install. So you have successfully completed a basic Active Directory configuration. So you just need to wait for the installation process to complete, and you should then see a notification telling you that you're about to be signed out. So the virtual machine should then restart, and then once the restart process completes, you then need to go into Active Directory and create a user account. So basically, I'll use this user account to sign into the Wi-Fi network when the configuration process is complete. You also then need to make a config change to the Network Policy Server as well. So click on Tools and then click on Active Directory Users and Computers. So expand the adserver.local option. In your case, this might be different depending on how you've named your server. So right click on Users and click on New. So in this case, we're just going to create a new user. I'm just going to use my name. So you just need to type in a name on the first name and last name fields. And you also need to configure a user logon name. So click on Next and type in a secure password on the password and confirm password fields. And then you also need to uncheck the checkbox where it says user must change password at next logon. Click the user cannot change password and password never expired checkboxes, and then click on Next. Click on Finish and then right click on the users folder again, and then select the option for creating a new group. So I'm just going to create a new group named Wi-Fi users and then click on OK. So I'm also then going to add this user that I've just created to the Wi-Fi group. So I'm just going to do that now. And then once that's done, you then need to make a configuration change to the Network Policy Server. So click on Tools and then click on Network Policy Server. Okay, so right click on NPS Local and then click on Register Server with Active Directory. Click on OK, and then you then need to add in a Radius client actually. So right click on Radius Clients and click on New. So I'm just going to set the name to TP-Link Wi-Fi router, because I'm going to be using a TP-Link Wi-Fi router actually. I'm just going to type in the IP address for the router and then type in a shared secret. So you need to make sure you type in a secure shared secret here. So I'm just going to confirm that and then click on OK. Okay, so let me just confirm and then click on OK. Alright, so the next thing you then need to do is you need to create a network policy. So expand policies, right click on network policies and click on new. So I'm going to set the name of the policy to Wi-Fi access policy and then click on next. So just click on next and then click on add. So I'm just going to configure the Wi-Fi users group access to this network policy. So just type in the group name there and then click on check names. Click on OK and then click on OK once again. Okay, so click on next and then select the access granted option and click on next. On the configure authentication methods page, select add and select the Microsoft protected EAP option. Select the Microsoft secured password option and click on next. Click on next once again and you should then be done with the configuration. So the next step is to configure the Wi-Fi router. This should work for any router that supports the WPA2 enterprise authentication method, and I'll show you this in part 3. I hope this tutorial has been informative and I'd like to thank you for viewing.